First of all, I would like to start this video by saying thank you all so much for watching, my videos thus far. And thank you to those of you who have sent me personal messages regarding, the videos and how, wow, like you didn't know so much about my life and at least my schooling and how I got to where I am and all this stuff. Use the comment section, okay? I'll respond to you there as well. And a lot of times, the comments that you're making, maybe someone else can connect to or feels the same way. You see what I mean? Anyways, hey y'all. Wow, I almost knocked down my background. I'm back with another video. To my new subscribers, thank you so much for joining the TMI family. When I first created TMI, I wanted it to be a platform for everybody to come and talk, a place where we have the taboo conversations, where it's thought-provoking, motivational, and inspirational. That is still my goal and my desire. I would like to help the generation that's behind myself, to let them know that, some of the things that they're experiencing, we experience it too, or they're not alone. The stress and strife that they're experiencing where they felt like they were alone, it's okay. Been there, done that, and hopefully within my videos you can get some tips and tools to help you not make the same mistakes or figure your stuff out a little bit sooner. So in my last video, I was talking about, what's it called? I said, what's my video called? The word is at the tip of my tongue. And I can't remember the thing. Don't settle. Oh my days. Don't settle. And a lot of what I was talking about in that video was pertaining to schooling, right? Don't allow your professors, don't allow your teachers, your program coordinators, people who don't know you that well, who know you based off of what they see on one assignment or 3 tests, to dictate the type of person you are going to be in society. And with that same topic and that same theme of don't settle, I said to myself, there's another way in which a lot of us settle. And I did tap on this a little bit in the video. I said, if there's a man and or a woman, a he, she, they, or them that you need to let go, let them go. Don't settle. And I'm saying don't settle in the broad scheme of things. Now, there are some videos that I watch for guilty pleasure. I've watched Paternity Court. I've watched those loyalty tests that have become really popular, where I've mostly seen the one with the guys. So these guys are going around and they're like talking to 2 friends or a boyfriend and a girlfriend. And they're like, how about you switch phones? Or how about you call your friend's boyfriend and see if they're loyal and all this type of stuff. And I follow Kendra G on Instagram, and I am watching her single show that she has there. And in watching it, I see, outside of the fact that we all have a desire for a partner in some aspect. We all desire relationships, that relational connection where we know that somebody loves us, somebody cares, someone wants to hear what we have to say. We all have that desire. But a lot of times we settle because of certain things, right? I'm 35 now, and this is the person that's in my phone. So I'm gonna go with that person. Or I'm 25 and my mom got married at 21 and I feel like I'm already behind schedule. Or, I don't want to just be having kids all over the place. I want to settle down, and this person's available. So why not go to them? Or this person, actually sends me a happy birthday message. This person, has the key to my apartment, so I might as well give them the key to my heart. There are so many things And I'm sure some people are watching and they're like, what? No, really? I would never in those situations. But let me tell you something. When you are in love, for some people it might be lust, but when you are in love, you do some stupid things. I mean, I look back over my life and my relational history and some of the things that I did for love. And I'm like, girl, girl, what you doing? For true. And it's not because I wanted to get married, because if some of you have watched previous videos, you would know that from about, oh gosh, what year was it? Okay, it was pretty much like the end of university. So from about 2016, I mean, I finished university earlier, but anyways, based off of my math, 2016 to, no, earlier than that, 2014, straight to 2018, I was adamant that I was going to be a single girl, because I said, I'm not settling for none of this stuff. Like, if I never got blindsided by Akeem, I said what I said, blindsided by Akeem, I would still be that single girl right now. I promise you, because I was so comfortable in my singlehoodness that I knew that I wasn't going to settle for anything less. Like, whoever was going to show up had to be at my standard or exceeding. And when I say my standard, my standards are high. In some groups, people say that I'm high maintenance. And I'll take that, because I know what I want and I want what I want. And actually, to tap into that psychotherapy piece, I found out why I'm like that. Yes, because I looked internally. I sat with myself and I said, girl, why you be doing the things that you be doing? But I realized that a lot of things that we do goes back to our childhood. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not blaming my parents for anything. They did great. And I actually commend them for it. And I like how I turned out. But as a lot of our parents do when they have access to do certain things, they give it to their children so that their children can be afforded a better life than they had. My grandparents as well. I know that my grandparents used to spoil me. So there was whenever I wanted something, I just had to say it. Oh, I want these shoes, or oh, I want but I wasn't spoiled. Don't say I was spoiled. I wasn't spoiled. It was within reason. It's not like I walked in the store and I wanted 10 toys and they're like, here you go. But they were very practical, educational stuff, mostly because that makes sense than, a toy that I'm going to play with for 2 seconds and not learn anything from it. But we were afforded that. When we wanted something, when we had a desire for something, when we needed something, we got it. And I think that I took that into my adulthood, where if I could afford to get something, when I needed something, when I wanted to do something, I made it happen for myself. So whether that's I wanted to travel, I made it happen. I saved my money, I worked real hard, and I took myself from point A to point B. A lot of times with just, hey, mommy, daddy, I'm going over here. I'll let you know when I reach. I don't need anything from you. I'm going. If I want something, I'll work towards getting it. And I think that really just speaks to setting boundaries and setting standards. So what are your standards in life? And this is a broad question, so I'm not even talking just relationally. What are your standards in life? What are your non-negotiables? What are those things where it doesn't matter who comes in your life, I'm still doing this, or this thing is still going to happen. I may not do it as frequently because now I have to be more practical, but this is my desire. I have a desire to be treated like a queen or to be treated like a king. I know that chivalry isn't dead. I need someone to open the doors for me. I need someone to help me buckle my heels if my frock is too tight and I can't bend to do it. I need someone to help me put on my boots. Like, whatever those things are. And I know some of them may sound silly or small to some people, but if those are some of your desires, hold true to them. hold true to the things you want. And I believe that when you manifest and when you speak about these things and when you have a strong desire for these things and you work towards the things that you want, you can make them happen. Case in point, because I told you on TMI, it's not only thought-provoking, motivational, and inspirational. Some might say it's too much information because I'm sharing my business. But I'm allowing you guys into my business and certain business. So don't put my business on the road after I tell you my business, okay? It's between me and you, whoever's watching the screen. Oh, so silly. But yeah, back 2014 to 2018, adamant, I was going to be single. I loved this singleness. I could travel. I lived on my own. Did I live on my own at that time? No, not yet. But I was making movements to live on my own because, again, I was just like, this independent life, this is it. Like, I can go out to eat. I can go on dates if I want. I can choose not to go on a date. I'm not in an exclusive relationship with anybody, so I can do what I want, when I want, talk to who I want. Like, it was just so freeing. And there was a part of me that in that moment that really couldn't understand why people were really like upset that they were single. But that's because they were in a whole different place than I was. They really had the desire for connection at that moment. I still didn't have that because I was still in my place of, we're having fun. It's a party. Let's get it. Let's get it. And then, as I said, out of nowhere, blindsided by Akeem, who at the time was one of my really, really close friends who was down the street. And I'm telling you, like, my car broke down and I was like, oh my gosh, like my car broke down. I'm going to take the bus today. Blah, 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 blah. Me take the bus? Oh no. He showed up. We switched cars. He took my car to the mechanic. And at this time, we weren't even dating. Took my car to the mechanic, got my car fixed, and brought my car back. Again, living down the street. We were just like, blah, 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 like, what are you doing today? And I was like, oh, I have to go out, but like my car is stuck because of the snow. He showed up and shoveled my car out of the snow. Again, we weren't dating. But in that moment, I was like, wow, this is friendship. I promise you. I was like, this is a really good friend. If you ask my mom, to this day, she had no clue. And usually she can pick out when, like, Deandra, this person likes you, because my mom I put my mom in my business. So I was like, yeah, like my friend Akeem, he's coming to shovel, da 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 da. One day I was sick and I was like, oh, I'm so hungry. I don't feel like cooking. Tutus. There was Uber at my door. And again, I'm just like, this is friendship. Because then if he called and you needed something, I was like, okay, I'll help you out. Again, I'm like, wow, we're such good friends. I love this for us. And then one day, would you believe the child out of the big spanking blue gonna look at me and say, so do you want to go on a date? And I was like, Mommy, he's asking me out on a date. What do I do? And she's like, I don't know. You want to go on a date with him? And I was like, I don't know. I don't want to mess up the friendship. Because, like, how do you revert back, you know? And she was like, well, knowing my mom, pray about it, take some time and think about it and see. And I was like, okay. And then it took a couple of days, but then I got back in touch with Akeem and I was like, sure. Let's go on a date. Mind you, going on the date for me didn't mean that automatically we are, you know, in this relationship, going to courtship, going towards marriage. This just meant that I was going out to eat and I was going to get a little bit more in your business. You were going to get more in my business. You're going to ask questions. I was going to ask questions, and then we see where we go from here. Because one thing about me, and this is where my standards and all of the everything come together, I need to know things. I have like this fear of the unknown. I feel as though if I find out things on road, then you either don't respect me or trust me enough with information. And when the respect is gone or the trust is gone, I'm gone. That's it. Because why am I staying around? I can't live in that type of atmosphere. It brings on too much anxiety. And this is why I'm saying know your limits, as OLG says. Know your limits, play within it. Know your boundaries. Know what you'll settle for. Know what you can live with. And if they're not meeting those things, then you wash your hands of them. Also keeping in mind that majority of people, I mean, if not 99.99%, then a strong 100% of us show our best versions of ourselves first. I'm not going to show you my true colors out the gate because I don't know if you can handle my true colors out the gate, which means that I'm going to show you a more timid side of myself, or I might show you someone who I think you can handle. And then as time continues and time progresses, then you'll get to know the deeper side of things and what life could look like with me. And this has been studied. This is statistically proven. This is what we do. We show our best versions of ourselves. It's like we're in an interview, right? When we're going on a date, because we don't know what to expect. We dress our best. We do the most. I promise you, our first date, I think we just both dressed okay. And I guess because we have the history and we were friends, it's not like I was like, okay, let me put on my newest this and my that and my... I'm also not that type of person, so it would have felt so fake. But going back to the whole standard thing, I knew that I had, if I was going to do a relationship, because at the time I was in my head of singlehood. If I was going to do a relationship, I wanted someone who would cater to me, who would do certain things that, yes, may be societal norms, but also things that weren't societal norms. Like I was fine with gender roles intertwining in the sense where we can both cook. But do I love the kitchen? No. To bake? Absolutely. To cook? Not so much. Akeem loves the kitchen. I love, and I don't understand why people don't love laundry. I love laundry. Like I'm obsessed with laundry. I love laundry. I love cleaning. But laundry, I don't know why people don't like just throwing things in a machine, taking it out and folding it up. What's the big issue? But I'll cook. Don't get me wrong. I'll cook. But if the two of us are home and it's like, oh, we need food, I'd rather do the laundry. Unless like, I don't have to justify nothing to y'all. I'd rather do the laundry and he can cook. If you don't want to cook, then I'll cook. But I'm not running down the kitchen. Never been my passion. And that actually taps into something within my childhood as well. Being the baby of the family, I never had to cook. I was never forced into the kitchen like that, you know? So my parents were always there. My sister was always there. Someone was always there that was cooking for me. So I never had to. But it doesn't mean I don't know how to. I had to still learn, but I wasn't necessarily the one that was, you know, cooking for everybody. But just to believe if it's an event or a holiday and I have a specific theme, I'll cook the place down. Okay, so don't get it twisted. Anyways, what I will say is, outside of him blindsiding me, Akeem had a lot of the traits that I wanted and desired when I thought of my future. But because I was still in this point where I was like, I'm not ready to switch over to relationship, I still want to be single, I wasn't quick to jump in it. I wanted to make sure that I was doing the right thing, because at that point I'd already said to myself, and I've said this in another video, that whatever relationship I would have gotten into at that point in my life, that was going to be my last relationship. So that relationship was going to go to marriage and to expanding a life and building a life together with a partner. So if I wasn't sure about that person, I did not want to even go on a second date, because to me that didn't make sense. I'm not doing it just for the free food, and I'm not doing it just to dress up, because what's the point? I can do that another time. So I had to be very conscious. And I think that dating, I mean, I can't really speak to it. I was going to say I think that dating has changed, but child, What do I know? I can only tell my story. I did not shift on my standards. I did not shift on my standards. I said, I want someone taller than me. I want somebody bearded. I want somebody black. I want someone who shares the same morals and beliefs as I do. I want someone who would be able to pick me up in all aspects of pick me up, lift me up, lift me up emotionally, lift me up spiritually, lift me up physically. Hey. So in my entire story about my, I guess, more serious romantic journey, I did not let go of my standards. I kept true to wanting someone who was going to do all of these things for me and then some. I wanted someone who was not just going to be my partner, but also be a member of my family, what was my immediate family, which is not my extended family, right? Because, you know, when you get married, your partner is not your immediate and they become your extended. Follow me. So I wanted someone who, you know, would see my parents as their parents and my sister as their sister, and not somebody that was going to be, you know, standoffish, and because that wouldn't work for me. Because I'm very vocal, so I would have gone to them and been like, what the hell are you doing? This is not going to work for us. This is not going to work for me. Even if you and I are good, if you can't work with my family, goodbye. Because we don't do that. So when it comes to settling, think about it. What are your non-negotiables? What are some things that you've noticed that in your past relationships maybe you settled for and you've decided, I'm not going to do that anymore. And I'm going to hold myself accountable, or I'm going to take some time to find myself. And I think that that's what my singlehood, those years of my singlehood really boiled down to. Years of me finding myself, figuring out my likes and my dislikes, and, you know, what things within my childhood can be connected to who I am now, and what makes me the Dee Dee that I am today. What makes Deandra? What makes her this person that feels confident and comfortable enough to sit in front of the screen and tell people her business? Like, what is all of that about? And as you allow yourself to get curious behind some of the things that you've allowed yourself to settle for and some of the things you won't settle for, keep in mind that you have to be open and honest, even if you've noticed that you've settled for something that you wouldn't have liked. For example, and this is a little segue, and I might not even talk about this full story, but this is like my little piece. Maybe you've been in a relationship where someone had cheated on you and you took that person back, and then they did it again. Now, because I'm being honest with you, my experience has never been that. They cheated, took them back. I think I put too much fear in them for them to cheat again. So the relationship just ended because, again, I just couldn't trust them. But there was this part of me that was like, oh, you're in love with this person. And this was when I was 18, 19 that happened. So knowing what your boundaries are and knowing what you can and can't handle. And then that little piece tags into the video where it's called He Cheated, But It's My Fault. And I'll link it up top so that you can click on it. But what are you settling for? And then why do you choose to settle? Why not refuse to settle? Why not know your standards enough so that you can stand 10 toes down on the fact that I am this person. I am important. I am bougie. I am high maintenance. And there's someone that can manage and that can handle all of this. There's someone that would love to be a part of all of this and the future plans that you have for yourself. They would fit right in with all of that. With the amount of people that we have in the world, I believe that there is somebody for everybody. And it just means that you might have to stop looking and where you are looking and look elsewhere, or maybe the person is right before your eyes, like my situation, and you don't even realize they're there. Ooh, chale. So that's my piece for you. Relationally, don't settle. Professionally, don't settle. Educationally, don't settle. You deserve the world. You can do so much more than maybe you even know or you allow yourself to admit. You're capable of some great things. So don't let nobody limit you. I sure won't. Talk soon. Bye.